Hello team, hello and welcome to the Learn via elearn.com classes. So in today's class, we will cover a very fresh new topic called as a decision control structures. So what are the things we are going to cover? We will see why we use decision control structures, and then we will see how to use it. Okay, we have some decision control structures like the if statement. We will see some real things. It's a very interesting point I have added here, and multiple statements with if in condition, right? Then we see another type of decision control, which is if else statement. We see nested if else also, means we have a multiple if else, right? Then different forms of if condition, then some logical operations like else if clause, the not operator, and then hierarchy of operators, right? And some cautions which we need to take while writing some decision control, right? And finally we have some conditional operators, and then we will see some summary. We will do some exercise also, and we will try to see different uh, different if conditions in different situations, right? So let's get started. So team, see, we all need to alter our actions, right, in the face of some changing circumstances. For example, if I suppose I'm standing here, and one of my friends says, okay, if you want to come to my home, you need to go to straight, and then you will find a yellow building, for example. Okay, and from there, if you find a yellow building, then you need to take right. Okay, and for example, if you can't find this yellow building, that means you will, you know, you have not taken right turn, but later after you will see a blue building. I'm just trying to explain it. Oops, where is this? Right, if you see the blue building, that means you are on the wrong track, so take a U-turn from there and again go back until you find a yellow building on your left side, and then take right side. So we have seen we have some conditions here. On the basis of that, we have changes our action, right? Like, I mean, here we saw if you find yellow building, take right, right? In case you go, if you didn't find, that means you will see a blue building, right? And if you find blue building, then take a U-turn. So team, mind my some words here. Like for example, I have used if, I have used then, right? I have used uh, else also. For example, uh, as I said, go straight. You will see yellow building. Then take right. Else, if you see blue building, then take U-turn, right? So here I am using if, I am using then, I am using else, right? Now try to execute this type of situation in a real world. I mean, in a real programming language. Okay, so team, you have noticed that all these decisions depends upon some condition being met. Okay, means what? All these decision depends on some condition being met. Okay, so all these decisions are some dependent one, right? If I take, if I saw this, then do this, else do this, right? So how does C language works? See, C language too must be able to perform different set of action depends upon different circumstances. Okay, so what are the different operators in C language which is going to work, right? We have same same type of operator what we have discussed, like we have if operators where we write some instructions as per our if statement. Then we have if else statement also, and the switch statement, right? We have a fourth one also which is not that much important. Structure is one that use conditional operator. Okay, so in this conditional statement we will cover if if statements, if else statement, and we have a separate section or a separate class for our switches. Okay, so let's concentrate on if statements and if else statement, right? So for example, the program what we used to write in a very simple format. For example, if I write a very simple program, like say void main, okay, and inside that if I print if I say integer a comma b comma c, a is equal to 10, b is equal to, let's say, 2, okay, and c is equal to a plus b, and then printf sum of a and b is what? Percentage, ampersand, c, right? So it will simple print what? The value of c, which is a addition of a and b. So this type of program is called as a sequential program, right? In which we have used sequence control structure, and all the steps are executed sequentially, that is in the same order in which they appear in the program. Okay, in fact, to execute the instructions sequentially, we do not have to do anything at all. Means by default, the instruction in a program are executed in sequence format, right? But in a actual programming, in a serious programming situation, we do not use this type of sequential programming at all, right? It may happen that at some place controls go in a sequence way, but in most of the time we want to set of instructions to be executed in one situation, right? For example, these are some set of instructions which is executed in particular a situation. Oops. Let me write like this. And we have a complete different set of instruction which will work in B situation. So this type of situation is dealt in C program using a decision control instructions, right? So as I mentioned earlier, a decision control instruction can be implemented in C using the if statements, right? So what are the uh, decision control statements here? We have if statement, we have if else statement, right? And we will see some conditional operators also. Now let's learn each of these and their variants in turn, right? So first start with the if statement. All right. So team, like most of the language, uh, C also use the keyword if, right? So there's a keyword and that is if, right? Let me write it in this way and make it in this color, right? So in C, we use the keyword if to implement the decision control instructions, right? So in general form of if statements look like this. For example, it's like if uh, x condition, right, then execute this condition. Okay, so we see uh, we have format where we check if x condition, then execute this statement. Similarly, if you saw a yellow building, then take a right turn. Okay, so keyword if tells the compiler that what follow is a decision control instruction. Okay, so the condition followed the keyword if is always enclosed in a pair of a parenthesis. Okay, if the condition whatever if it is, it's a true, then the statement is executed. Alright, if the condition is not true, then the statement is not executed. Okay, instead the program skip that part. Okay, but how do we express condition itself in C? And how do we evaluate its truth or falsity? Right? I mean, how do I how do I check that if the condition is true or if condition is false, right? And how do we decide on that basis that okay, we need to execute this statement or not, right? So we express a condition using C's relational operators, right? So we have something called as a relational operators. Okay, so what are these relational operators? The relational operators, let me write it also, it's very interesting. See, the relational operators allow us to compare two values to see whether they are equal to each other, comma, unequal, comma, or whether one is greater than other. Okay, so relationship operators allow us to compare two values, right? It could be two equal values, it could be two not equal values, it could be greater than or equal to values and all, right? So how they are actually look and how they are actually evaluate in C, we will see this in a Excel sheet. I will make an Excel sheet for you for this operational for this relationship operators. Okay, so let's say for example expression. Okay, I have a column called an expression and another column called is true if. Okay, so first expression would be if x, for example, is equal to y. Means what? If x is equal to y. We have another expression like if x is not equal to y. Okay, so what is this means? It means x is not equal to y. Team, these are some expressions which we use in if conditions to check different condition. We have something called as an x is less than y, right? Similarly, x greater than y, right? X is greater than y, right? We have something called as x is smaller than equal to y. Okay, that is x is less than or oops, if s is less than or equal to y. Similarly, we have x is greater than or equal to y. Oops, this is y. X is greater than or equal to y. Alright, so these relational operators is very easy to understand and is also very familiar to you except for the equality operators, right? Please note that let me write it here. Please note that equal and this type of equal are different. How? See, this equal, I mean, if I write equal once is used for assignment of some value, right? Means if I write a equal to 6, that means the value of a is 6. right? Whereas this equal, if I write equals twice, is